Good afternoon, everybody. This afternoon, the goal is to get a rough mix going. Remember, last session I tracked all of the analog synths, so I don't have any of the analog synths on. I just can open up my Ableton Live session that I tracked everything, and I did the time adjustment on everything already, so we're good to go on that. And I'm going to just get a rough mix up really quickly. And then I'm going to work on the drum production. Mostly, I already have a good beat figured out, but what I want to do right now is I want to put in the drum fills. And this particular drum kit, because of that DR110 that I sampled, doesn't have any toms. So I'm either thinking some Simmons toms or maybe the 606 toms. And also some cymbals for the downbeats of the new section, song section. So I want to get those worked out, and then after I've done that, I'm going to work on stemming them out, all the tracks out that I want to work with to create a Pro Tool session that I can then next week start tracking the vocals. So that's the plan for today. Rough mix, drum production, and stems. All right, and having said that, let me get to it here. The first thing I'm going to be doing is obviously launching the set and making sure that everything's playing okay. So I'm launching the set, and I also have to remember that I have that one rewire instrument, just the tambourines going in there, and I might actually end up tracking those so I don't have to launch Reason as well. So I'm launching the actual set itself, and I'm at version 1D, and I also keep my Reason song file. Even if I've not made any changes in it, I'll keep it also going to version 1D so that both of the names have version 1D, version 1D. I know which one I'm launching. And take a listen. Everything's playing good, push is up and online, and so I'm just going to start figuring out my little mix here. And I think usually what I'll do is I'll go to a section if I'm going to mix to get all my static levels put together. I'm just going to go to a section that has all the parts in it and loop it. So I am going to a chorus section, and I'm going to turn on loop. And I'll switch the camera here to push. Switching the camera over to push. And I'm going to switch this over to mix mode so I can see all my track levels. And I've got loop on. Just to mention, it's nice you can fold and unfold the drum tracks just by clicking up here. Right now, all I see is the drum master, and then if for this track group, and then I click it again, and then all the individual channels splay out. Pretty nice. I think I muted Matt. Don't want to mute my sends. My send effect returns here. I think I put them on. Reverb and delay. Those put on. And then I'm not trying to get a perfect mix right now, right? I just want to be able to hear the bass drum and the synthesizer, the bass synth at the same time. Make sure that neither one's drowning the other one's out. it's really important to realize that, I tracked these really hot, right? I recorded the signal so that it was as close to a nice robust signal, but not clipping. And then the reason for that was so that I had a nice hot signal, a nice hot recorded signal to work with. But then even if that sound is something that is going to be lower in the mix, then I just turn the fader level down. Because then I have the best of both worlds. If I need to turn it up, I can turn it up. If I need to turn it down, I can turn it down. And I'm getting a proper signal to noise ratio from the analog synth that I'm recording. So in other words, I'm not recording it at the level that I want it to hear it in the mix. I recorded it hot, and then I mix it afterwards. And that was it. Just those tracks. So now that I've done just the chorus section and a nice little static mixes, you also saw me switching back and forth here. So I just have the two Ableton default sends set up here for reverb and delay, which is fine for this rough mix. So turn off my loop and start it from the top here. Well, the clap is, as I was playing it, I was just making some more adjustments on the drums. The clap is annoying me in terms of it's got some natural reverb in the analog recording, but it's just has too much reverb. And there's no reverb set up on my individual drum sends right now. So I need to go into Ableton here and make that adjustment. So here is Ableton, and I'm looking for my drum rack, and hit my drum rack here. And you can see that drum rack down there. I'm going to go over here and show our sends. And I'm going to create a return channel. I'm just going to go ahead and create 2 return channels here. And one of them is going to go to our main reverb. Notice I'm not inserting something here. I actually want to just take these directly off of the main reverb send and delay send. So B delay, A delay, and B delay. And now if I take us back to so after creating those sends now I have the sends here, right there. There they are. So send A, send B, and if I want to add some to the claps now, some reverb and maybe a little delay to those claps. First I want to go to a section that has the claps. So that's, the claps are in the verses, so I'll go to my verse section. I will loop that and play that. So the effect inside of Ableton Live for the default send is throwing at me some triplet feel, and I really don't want the triplet feel on this song for these delays. I just want an eighth note, so I'm going to open that up and switch it to a delay time of eighth notes instead of triplets. Let's see how that sounds. So I had to solo that so I could hear what I was doing. And then I just went ahead and switched them to eighth notes, just eighth notes, and adjusted the feedback a little bit. And we're good for that. So I can now go back here, fold these guys up. And I haven't saved today yet, but I'm happy with that rough mix. So I'm going to now save this. Save my live set as the version E. Version E, same folder, save that as version E, and also I'm going to go to my Reason, even though I didn't make any changes in here, and just save that as version E as well. Because otherwise you end up with, like, what version was I working on in Reason in my rewire slave? And just keep coordinated. And turn loop off, and now we're ready to start working on the drum fills. So I'm in the linear mode here. I'm in the arrangement view at this point in time. And it's like, which mouse? I'm always grabbing the wrong mouse. Like, I want to move something over here, but I'm using the wrong mouse. And I want to figure out which other instrument I want to use. And I'm not sure if I have two ideas, like I said, the 606 toms or some Simmons toms. So I'm just going to grab something out of the library really quick here. Insert a new MIDI track and go to the packs. Got nicely sampled drum machines, and there's a 606 right on top there. See what the toms sound like in that. Not totally sold on those. I'm thinking I definitely want to hear what the Simmons sound like. So I don't think there are Simmons. I'm not going to find them in here. So for this, I need to load in my own drum sample sounds. And as you can see, I already have some pads set up here in the middle right here that are just all set up for me to bring in some samples. So I'm going to go to my own library and open up my drums folder and look for some Simmons. Interestingly, I don't see them. I do know that there are some Simmons drums sampled in the HR16, so let me just see what they sound like here. Electronic tom. That could be kind of cool. So I'll just take this, drag it onto one of my pads here. And let's see, make sure that our sampler is in one-shot mode. We are good. Don't need that on. And not going to need the velocity on these either. Oh, right, so I want to set my velocity to 0. I may change my mind on that, but for now that's good. And then I'm going to copy this through and I'll tune each drum. So I'm just holding down Option and dragging them across right now. And now I am one thing in the process of writing my drum fills right now is I'll just do a quick tuning on these, but then I'm going to tune my drums to make sure that they're in key with my song. Might as well do that now. Sometimes I'll do it, yeah, it's sort of in the middle or before I'm ready to track the drums. But so I'm going to have to grab one of these guys here and I think, do I want to keep my tom? So keep my toms, my low tom on this side and tune it down. So I've selected this pad now and I want to come over here and tune it down. And where is the tuner for this? Controls. Got the right sample. Controls. And there's transpose is right there. a 6. You notice it's switching for me, so when I change this, play it a couple times, not the first time, or not immediately I should say, it's like I gotta play it a couple times, or wait a second, and then it'll switch over. So that was +8, +4. I'm also going to need some cymbals. Cool, that works. Definitely like that better than the more tonal 606 toms. Gives me an excuse to use some Simmons samples too. And now, let me make sure that I've tuned my drums. Double check the key of the song, make sure that I know what notes I'm going for. So it's more about the note I want to avoid right now. And the note I want to avoid when I'm tuning these is F, since it's basically in G major. Those are the notes. And I don't want an F in there, but I can do an F sharp. So let's start with the kick drum and switch cameras back here. And one thing I really like about Ableton Live is its EQ8, which will allow me to tune my drums. I go to my audio effects, I select EQ8, and I pull it in here to my drum channel. After everything, just over here is fine. Also, I can get rid of that 606 that I had in here. Select it and delete the channel. Back to my drums here. And if I double click, make sure everybody so double click on the EQ area, and I don't need this. This way I'll be able to bring up the EQ up here so that I can see it. And when I press this, when I press, say, my kick drum, and then I hold my cursor over the peak of that waveform in the spectrum analyzer, or the peak of the frequencies, I have a G, which I thought that was. I don't have perfect pitch, you know. I can't like my relative pitch is pretty good, but my perfect pitch is non-existent. So I can't say, hey, you know, that is a G and that's in key with the song. I thought it was, but now I have a little scientific validation. That's nice. It's you can tell there's a, so where the peak is of the frequencies, and then you slide the mouse around there and you get the little readout down here on the bottom that tells me what the actual note is based on that frequency content. And I just repeat it a few times to get a good steady and it's basically, it's between a G and an A. And then really the peak is right there on the A. I can see what it sounds like, a little hair lower. But I think it might break up lower, so. Go to my controls, transpose it down -1. See what that sounds like with the rest of the music in play. And I think I'll go to my chorus section. Make sure my loop is on. So I'm actually going to tune it down. To me, harmonically, it sounds sweetest. It sounds okay at A, but it definitely sounds better playing that root note of G, which is -2 tuning by my approximation. Right at that peak there, that's G. So it's pretty close, but. And I'm going to tune the other one down to -2 as well. Remember, I got 2 samples here. Okay, snare next. There's obvious peak there for my snare. And I think C is fine. Like I said, right now, I'm wanting to just avoid F, make sure it's not on F. On the other hand, kind of liking it down -1. So and that's a nice interval anyway, so I think I will go with -1. And that is B. So we got a third up from G. Tune the other one, -1. White noise, hi-hat, cymbals, don't need to tune them. Those are okay. Claps, what's that clap at? It's a big white noise blast with a little bit of pitch qualities to it. Let's move to my verse section and listen to that clap. +1 actually on the clap. And that's like between a B and an E, that white noise area here. So that's good. I like the way that sounds. Tune the other one up, +1. That's weird. So with that analog drum machine, the difference between the accented and unaccented claps, I'm hearing a pitch difference, but it's not a full semitone. It's like about a half a semitone. but I'll just leave it alone because I'm not actually using the softer clap right now, so it's kind of interesting. All right, tune the toms. So G sharp, not what I want. So I'm just making sure that the notes, each of the tom notes are in the scale of G. And I like all that. So obviously, I want to save that now. I don't need to change the name 1E right now. 1E's works good. And I think I want to save this kit as well at this point in time because this is kind of a new kit. It's a blend of an Alesis HR16 Simmons tom sample and the DR110 drum sounds, the kick, snare, clap, and the hi-hats. So I'm going to save it, and it's going to give me a new iteration of this, and calling it 1. And what I really want to do is call it plus sim toms. There you go. And let's add some, switch over to the arrangement view here. Close this up. We're done with that. And add some tom fills in here now. See where I want to put my drum fills. So I have this Ableton Live clip. It should be in my clips user library. And it's my cymbals. And I'm just going to drop it in here. And it automatically gives me a bunch of cymbals that I've already lined up. And these are just like normal crash cymbals But I actually like to combine real crash cymbal sounds with electronic drum sounds. So these are just available for me not to have to program. They're just kind of in here and already set up and good to go. If I want a crash cymbal right there, and let me turn those down. Why they're up so loud? I'm going to mute the rest of these right now so that they're there and I can use them, but they're just not on. I'm going to loop the section that I want to bring in. I want to bring in these Simmons toms pretty early on. I just want them to be part of the mix. So I already brought over my session clips, and now I'm just going to be overdubbing directly in the arrangement view as I add these new parts. So MIDI arrangement overdub, this plus button right here. You notice I've gotten the habit, you can't see this unless you're on the overhead cameras, which we'll see on the when I YouTube it. From the GoPro camera, which is over there, but I'm mousing with my left hand. I do this all the time. I mouse with my left hand and I'm playing the parts with my right hand. It's just kind of convenient that way. And I'm using a trackball to mouse so that I don't have to be mousing around. I'm just rolling the cursor around. So I'll go to this bar here. Chord arm my track. Undo that. Just making sure my overdub is on and yeah, it's working. Sorry, that's not doing what I want it to be doing. Edit. Record. I want to flam on that high tom, so I am moving it just duplicating it and moving it into a flam position. I also want reverb on those toms, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I So for that first fill, bringing in the bells, I didn't want too much. I just want to introduce the idea of the Simmons toms. And I wanted some delay on those Simmons toms. So that's what I was sitting here working on right now, is just adding some that eighth note delay to that high tom, and then dialing in the crash to complete the drum fill so that you hear the toms dum dum dum, and then onto the crash, and then adding some delay and reverb to the crash as well. And like I said, I don't want anything big for this first one, so that's fine. Cool. Save that. Turn off the loop. Move on to the next part here. One thing I like to do too is color code. Like this is, if I put a split here, so in case I want to use this tom again. So put my cursor there, Command E, and then color code this one just so that I know that it's something different. That's helpful. So just going to put this fill in here. Idea for a fill coming into the first verse. Having some problems here. It's not quite what I wanted. And undo record. Yes, there it goes. I hit undo and it didn't undo it. That's strange. Does it undo it? There it goes. I did it a couple times to undo that, that's why. I just want to open a hi-hat for in between these verses. I'm just building things up in between each song section. Which one? Get that one. So just on the and of 4. So going to record. But not there. It's not where I wanted it. That was great, and just want to make sure that I differentiate that. Color code it. Just so I have an eyeball on what's, if I want to grab that open hi-hat for another one, I can do that. Definitely want to crash on that one. So we got that crash on that one opening up there. Since we're going into a chorus section, I want to come up on the toms for the energy, so going up in pitch as opposed to going down in pitch. I like to flam that last one. So as you can tell, I'm usually going in and doing the flams manually on that one, which is this high tom. Oops, didn't mean to click that twice. Come back here. Open this up. And we got the crash on there. And you notice I'm not trying to like pause the hi-hats. I'm not trying to create a realistic drum sound here. I'm imagining that the Simmons toms are being played over on top of the drum machine, so as a separate performance. We don't need that crash there. This one can come out, and I do want just a very slight. I want to crash on in the middle probably, and but maybe not. I'm not sure about that one yet. But I definitely want a snare on the 8th note on this one. Oops, hello, I missed it. Move this crash into spot here. So this is coming out of the chorus now, and I want to be able to come down in pitch. So I just played those in. Obviously, I have camera on both things, but this, you can see the notes being recorded, and I'm just playing them on my push controller here in real time. And then for that one, I want a crash cymbal before I come back in on the one there. And since this is the whole post-chorus here, and I definitely want to focus on those toms for the post-chorus, so that whole Simmons toms idea for the post-chorus. Consolidate these for my post-chorus and color code it. What do I got here? Maybe a yellowy color there. And then on the crash cymbal here, definitely want one on the down beat here. Should be that one, but I also want one on the upbeat here. Maybe I should add some cowbell. So I want this one. Right there. Should we chord armed? Yeah. Chord arm this guy. So upbeat crash. So I was realizing I should differentiate between the two crashes. I have three cymbals here. A ride, an 18-inch, and a 16-inch. So I should label these. So that's a less energy one. Higher pitched one is a 16. Ride session. This one is the 16, 16, 16. Like for that first one, I want to come down with the less energy one, the 18. Come down with this one. So if this is the lower one, and I want to be really smooth here, I can label this. So rename this one. So this is going to, I'll call this 18. And I'll call this one call this one 16. Let's make things easier for me. And that's my upbeat. So we'll call that one up. Zoom in some more here, get that guy up. It's the 18, the 16, and the up. That's pretty much it. So copy this over here, course, and this is a 16. And the up is actually an 18, but that doesn't matter. And I was thinking about putting a ride here. I see, but that's the open. So that's fine, because that was the open hi-hat right there. I should label that OP. And then I want an 18 on here, right there, the 18-inch. So I think I'll do an 18 here and a 16 here. Let's see what that sounds like. I'm kind of liking this ride symbol idea that I have here. Don't crash live. We have a hang. Funny, this doesn't even sound right. It's like it's stuck on a loop. I was about to say we are almost... Well, we just did this whole section here, so all these drum fills and variations on drum fills can now be repeated for the next sections, but we've had an Ableton Live hang. And I like that ride cymbal idea, but it is not responding now. Yes, so force quit. This is really hung up here. As we can see here, yes, Ableton Live is not responding. No kidding, people. So we'll quit reason first, because that's on a slave. It's not going to like being quit. And then we'll go back here, and we'll force quit Ableton Live. Hopefully I didn't lose too much. And we'll relaunch Ableton Live. No kidding, it unexpectedly quit. Okay. Oh yeah, and reason, oh no. Reason's stuck too now. So this is one of those instances where, yes, we've had a crash. Thank you very much. Yes, it's restored things up to a point. Let's see what it did here in terms of restoring. Oh, that's pretty good. All the way up to, it saved everything. Remember, I had put that crashes in there. I was just about to put the ride cymbal in. So I'm going to save this now as a new version because I don't want to overwrite that last one. So file, save, live set as, ABCF. Now that I've recaptured that, then I'm going to quit this because the engine in Reason is stuck as well. And I have to quit Reason too. So back up to my force quit screen here. Force quit Reason. Now we should be back at square one with version F there. You see it's F. And let's open Ableton Live. Version F. And sure we got those symbols here. There's that symbol. And put our Reason back in. GoPro has decided that it is done recording for the afternoon. And version E on Reason. Open that up. Get our tambourine back. There's our tambourine. And I just updated that file name, so we want to go save as F. And then back to Ableton Live. And my idea, that would be nice. Let's make sure everybody's playing. So I just want to start right here. Just going to make an adjustment on that ride cymbal so it's a little bit louder. I'm doing it on the other screen, sorry. And now I'm going to record that. Sure we're armed and good to go. Click track is on. Oh. Not from the beginning, from here. Are we on? Yes, 25 we're on. Good. Actually, want to bring it up a little bit in front. On the 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that it's got the right groove on it, the MPC swing that I was using for the other elements. And yeah, I turned the volume to kind of where it's kind of working for right now. And yeah, so that should be everybody. Save that, listen from the top, listen to all the drum fills. So now we can copy those drum fills through. And I think what I'm going to do actually is just finish those up next time. Since my GoPro's already run out, it's going to take me a while to copy those drum fills through. And then once I copy the drum fills through, I'm also going to want to make some changes on those. Let me change cameras here. But that's a really good basis for where I want the drum fills, how I want the Simmons toms to be featured, and then the crash cymbals in there, and that takes care of the whole the intro and the first verse and chorus, and then I'll copy those through, make slight changes to those fills for the following ones, and then I'll be done with all the fills going through the whole drum section. So you can see I spend quite a bit of time on the drum production, making sure that all my fills are in good shape and leading me into and out of the song sections to keep the energy going in the song. I think it's a really important phase of the whole process. So I'm not going to try and finish those up today since we're already at 12:11. So we're at the 2 hour mark, and like I said, the GoPro's stopped running. So next session, I'll finish up the drum fills and then get everything set up for vocals to record in a Pro Tools session. All right, cool. That should do it.